apologize me in a song I'll never hear. Lay my bones to rest with your fear. Nothing else can move these roots. Nothing but your withheld truth. No stones unturned, every letter burned. I read and reread every word, and I was misheard. So I'll get out of this shallow grave, wash my claim from your name. Oh, disguise me inside cryptid prose, caught between the lines that we chose. Nothing else can see these roots.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Fire Showroom. My name is Pirates Man in real life today with... I have to hit the actual live now button, there we go. Final Fantasy XIV, the critically acclaimed MMORPG that has a free trial that is a low 70 and includes word-winning expansions. I'm not even saying full words anymore. Doesn't matter. We have the stuff to do. Yep, where's my... Let me, real quick, move Monk onto my toolbar. Hotbar, same thing. Replace that, and then we can get to do this. Yippee! Alright, let's go do the story stuff. If I'm understanding correctly, and it's been a while since we've done patch quests, there's supposed to be a trial and a dungeon, right? Now, I thought we almost got to the dungeon last time, but we didn't get to the dungeon. So today, we're probably going to get to the dungeon. If there is one. If there's not, we suffer. It's fine. There's definitely a trial, someone pointed it out. We fought Beatrice last time. I wonder what the theme's going to be this time. Is it just going to be bosses from 9? Because it doesn't fit the rest of the trials, but like the 4 fiends or archfiends from 4 technically don't fit the rest of Endwalker's trials, I guess. Right? Endwalker had... yeah, Endwalker had Heidelin, then Zodiark, then Endsinger, and then it had the 4 Archfiends. And, of course, Zeramis. Sorry, 3 of the 4 Archfiends, and then Zeramis. And Ashura. Because she was one of the the Hildegard quests. Oh, that's cool. We might get extra stuff from Hildebrand, not Hildegard. Small shelving unit holds some office supplies as well as notes. Hello, thank you for the follow. What do we got? Handy game 21. It's a clanker. Right, we were looking for some of the work stuff that allowed us to understand how this guy was controlling the bots, I think, and stealing souls. Tidy stack atop the desk, you find a security card. Also, the security card. Pardon me. A few indecipherable notes remain pinned to this notice board, but nothing that resembles a security card. Alright, well. Open desk drawer. Appears to be the only desk drawer is already open. You can tell at a glance the desk drawer on there, there's less on things behind. obviously we're gonna look through it then. Card-shaped object. Electrope surface marked with bold level 1. So there's gonna be more cards then. Oh, that could be what we're looking for. Could that be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Scanning device. Hold the card-shaped object out to the scanner. It's open. You did it, Selena. A good thing too. I was getting nowhere with that outdated circuit. I'm curious though. Why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by a director, Demetrius, or so that terminal there told me. Perhaps there's more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Then let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub. Walking, 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 walking. Psych, I'm running. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Another one of these bad boys. This is not gonna work, right? Yep. Need a level 2. No good. Maybe we need a different card. Yes, the scanner's demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock. As much as the delay chafes me, we'll just have to comb through the nearby rooms and hope we stumble upon the card we need. Let's start our search in the Proto Lab. Door's already open, at least. We will find our way together, Shale. I'm sure of it. Alright. Where's this Proto Lab? Okay. The way this room is set up, the canister inserted into that large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted the experiments to create Endless? Ah, but we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Gululcha mentioned a locker over in the corner that he couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look? Have you tried casting fire, Gululcha? I need a code, okay. Correct combination. Okay, you have yet to uncover any potential. Speaking with your comments will help progress. No. Personal data tablet, sure. Journal entry number 1. Today began my employment at Preservation. The organization was unfamiliar to me, but when the recruitment later arrived, I had a gut feeling that this work would be far more fulfilling than any orthodox medical practice. My instincts were correct. Master Calix's philosophy is the refined ideal of notions I've only ever vaguely entertained. The mankind must evolve beyond the shackles of flesh and blood existence. I had a meeting with Director Demetrius today. I've heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calix's blinding radiance. This morning, I was permitted to access the top floor and observe the workings of a living memory. As predicted, the shortage of ether required to sustain the Endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen's Fiend insists on continuing her intellectual failing. Our Malala colleagues, including the Proto Lab chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner of late. Should I report my concerns to the director? From tomorrow, I've been assigned to assist with the research project in the Deutero Lab. Deutero Lab? Deutero Lab, okay. We are scheduled to conduct a major experiments, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It would seem prudent to back up my memory data. Skim through it, just read all 3, huh? Sorry. I dug through this data tablet and found a journal. I'll read it to you. The result of experiment 158 showed a marked improvement in ether extraction rates. At last, we have achieved the target value set by Master Calix. Though I will become endless as per our ascendancy protocols, I have preserved this historic number along with my few remaining worldly edicts. Preserve the number. Number, so it's not gonna be 158. That looks so complicated. I should have to ask Shale to teach me how to use these machines. Shouldn't you, like... Oh no, right, it's before now. These notes seem to be about the research they did in here. Let's take a look. Experiment 148. Submitting interference candidate 201930 to be considered for efficiency procedure review, huh? Experiment 158. Maximum value of 11,509 recorded. Comparative study to be included in the report. Oh, and one more. Experiment 163. New proposal resulted in number of 9834. Decreased value verified. Well, I have no idea what any of that means. Maybe it'll make sense later. Kral, what do you got? This machine feeds into a soul cell. I'm reminded of my imprisonment by the Empire. Surely this device wasn't made to hold people. That looks like an iron lung, low-key. Yeah. So like the number... Oh. I know. 1509. There we go. Level 2 security card obtained. Selena, you got the locker open. And you found another security card. Oh, but does that say level 2? We need a level 3, don't we? Yes, but it should still open more doors for us to explore. You did well, Selena. Obviously someone's played Resident Evil, and it's not Guruja. These preservation members led such surprisingly normal lives. Leaving notes, losing their cards. I guess I imagined they'd be more, what's the word, bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once part of preservation, if you'll recall. It would seem the researchers who agreed with Calyx in his philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities, but I assume those who could not, or would not, eventually left the organization altogether. Oh, I almost forgot. The researchers kept journals in their data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened in the complex, and afterwards it was decided that everyone would become endless. A lot of people died then. The writer was really happy about this. You could tell how much they admired Calyx and his work. The entries ended after that, but maybe you can read more in the other tablet there. Right, let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we will have the Deutero lab and the maintenance facilities left to search. Both are accessed via the southwest corridor. So it's back to the hub and locked door across the way. Which will hopefully yield before a new security card. Well, I'll take the old one. If you like, I doubt we'll have any more use for it. My child just came running past, like, super loudly. Oh, you know what I want to do? And not forget to do. Oh, sorry. I gotta do a little something here. I don't want to be stuck doing my closing shift with no music, so what I do is I charge my headset because it's ancient, decrepit, and broken. Oh god. And doesn't stay charged because the case doesn't recognize when it's closed, so the headset stays on as long as as long as it's not dead. There's no way to manually turn them off that I know of. And so the headset just dies, and the case charges them, and then dies, and then they die during the day. So I need to charge them every day. I'm sure that's not going to do anything bad to it. Is that the same data tablet I read earlier? Sure. No. It's not gonna work, right? Oh. Yes, it opened. So where should we go first? The Deutero lab of facilities. Let's start with the lab. Are we trying to get the other door? Shale, there doesn't seem to be any power here. No, none at all. It's possible the energy supply for this room is on a separate conduit, which means that there should be a contingency for opening the door. Look, there's a sign above the card scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. So we're going to facilities anyway. The facilities room is down the other branch of the corridor. Let's see about getting the power store then, shall we? Nice. Whoa! PlayStation? Not quite. Engaging power supply. No good. It's returning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to the error code reference, if the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. Shale, that's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Yes, and by the looks of it, it's the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab? Ah, I see. The energy cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall, directly to the Deutero lab. Which means we need a way to connect the generator to the lab. To that cable, okay, gotcha. What about these patterns on the floor? Could this be the circuit we need to reconfigure? I believe you have the right of it. Using the control panel set into each of the tiles will create an unbroken path to the power below. Oh, okay. What I wouldn't give for an instruction manual. Indeed. If you could look around for any written procedures, I'll keep digging through the terminal's directories. Might I ask someone to prepare the generator? Operate the generator? Yeah. I can do it. I've used that type of machine before. Then would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit path, Selena? The rest of us can help by supplying Selena with whatever information might be found in the circuitry configuration. When in doubt, just activate each of them once. Must arrange 4 patterns in correct positions, access the controls panel, prepare the circuitry. Ooh. Okay, so it starts here. We could talk to him, but I don't want to. Okay, no, we need something that has a higher. So it's the square. Circle. Yeah. Triangle. Maybe. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so I'm guessing it wasn't just doing that, I'm not sure. Simply glimpsed part of a warning sign behind the container. From what I could make out, it said, "Caution, circuit will not function with duplicate patterns." I suppose that means only one of each circuitry pattern can be set at the same time. Right, so that means that I've got 2 squares. I gotta make it into a not square. Okay, easy peasy. Diamond. They're a girl's best friend. Oklamat. Selena, take a look at this diagram. There's a note at the bottom left about the backup power. Configure the 4 circuit control panels to provide an uninterrupted path. These symbols must represent the room that we're in. If that square is the top left, Shale's terminal, then the bottom right should be the generator that Gululja is working on. It's hard to make out the rest. Assuming there are 4 tile patterns, the bottom right is a square and the top right is half a circle. Right, so easy peasy. I've got that set, which means that if they want it to be uninterrupted, I need to swap these 2, I guess. Makes sense. Yeah. Ah! It worked! We did it, Selena. I'm an expert in these puzzles, okay? In between fighting gods, sometimes I tend to do puzzles, brain teasing and whatnot. The Deutero lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. If I may, Shale, could we access a certain data log before moving on? I was checking the storage shelves and one of the labels caught my eye. Preservation in the early days is the title. Of course, it'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. Yeah, we're not in a hurry. Thank you for following Le Journal. Although I feel like I've already seen that notification before. It looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out. Preservation in Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the Storm Surge, with Calix's designs for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the Storm Surge came to an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence, hundreds of years ago. I met him only once, before the Storm Surge began. I was attending my father, who was the reigning king of Alexandria. Calix could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness, yet still he published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-mindedness will behind his words. So it was when the war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to the sober youth and his proposal for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by sudden succession to the throne, I suspect they spared me the reports on honest research and the other less urgent matters. So you had no way of knowing what kind of person Calix was changing into? Did he change, I wonder? Perhaps he's ever been the type to value ideals over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change, but is still driven by those same deeply held beliefs. That mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Whatever the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? Take a shot. If I've done my job correctly, the door to the tutorial lab should be accessible now. I'll give everything a once-over just to be sure. I am rolling on my... Thank you. No! Why are you jamming then? Sorry, I don't like having cold feet, okay? Oh, right into the wall, full speed. Boom. Energy current seems stable enough, still you should let me handle this one. Security card if you please. Oh, and a quick prayer that a shorted wire doesn't burn me from the inside out. Tacos a carnitas. Tacos de carne asada. Okay, no, vitality, determination, skill speed. Skill speed, thank you. I will take creamy alpaca pasta. Right, I'll get this door open. Will she? Yippee! Smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what happens. What awaits? Pirates lure to read. Goodness gracious, all you do is play RPGs. You should know this already. God's above, isn't that? Oh. What? They stole it from us, so how come it's here? The key to interdimensional fusion? Looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key, but isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Selena has? Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Milala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here, so what might that tell us? The crystal is the key. This is just the device they made to control it. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. It is as my parents explained. I love they're basically the same statement. The key remains shrouded in mystery, preservation augmented with electrope, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion, not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. Is that going to be a main plot of the next expansion, or are we going to know by the end of 7.5? Interdimensional travel seems to be a key point of, like, the upcoming plots, so, Now it makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there's much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Ishtola's assistance for a thorough investigation. I, too, am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calyx's whereabouts is our priority. Wrong accent. Hopefully, there's a security card here that grants access to the director's office. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel might have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards they left behind. Remember, anything less than level 3 is no good to us. Storage. It's not gonna be here. Lone storage crate is filled with document binders and other miscellaneous objects, none of which are security cards. Hello, good old Joe. You got computers over here? These are 3D printers, actually. Why were they making so many vessels? Did the other ones not work properly? No, they were trying to mass produce it. I'll search through these drawers. One of us is bound to find something. I'm sure of it. Lamati. Maybe someone left a card on the shelf. Wishful thinking. I keep holding out hope that I'll find evidence on my parents despite knowing there is none. Oh, child. You find a security card in the cabinet drawer. Ah, did you just find a security card? Well, that's a stroke of luck. Let's have Shale examine it to be sure. What, I can't read? Can't just read level 3? Well, it isn't. If it isn't exactly what we needed. Nice work, Selena. You're welcome. I'm good at this game. Oh, level 3, that should get us into director's office. So what was it you were hoping to find in here again, Shale? You were saying that a certain device was going to help us. Right, I haven't properly explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. After we discovered the ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities, to monitor what you, as the keyholder, are planning. Oh, I still have the thing. I thought they took it from us. But since Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him. Which is why I need the data relay. If I can analyze the device and see where it's rerouting all the surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's position. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be on entirely the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calyx said he was measuring Selena's strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than her? Xenos, actually, but only sometimes. Unfortunately. Oh, speaking of cameras, there was another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data, though, if you'd like to see it. Oh, yeah, let's go. Some suspicious stuff. I'll start the show, then.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me.
Should call them Umbrella Corps, no preservation.
I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish. What would become
by evolving everyone to
mankind
immortality,
halt
wouldn't you
that
make
process?
everybody stagnate their
Unending
evolution?
stagnation is the fruit of our labor.
There it
Then
is.
perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
Mystery Saja?
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calyx's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject.
The
But I
Makoto
cannot.
Nijima here.
He and I are too different. In too many
Pardon.
ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no
I don't think you
illness
require genius to
threatening cut
appreciate
my
the
life
cycle of
short,
life and
no
death, but yeah.
singularity of will to cut away all distractions and
Yeah, it's
focus
the illness that I think
on research.
freaking Calyx out. Which I can't blame him for.
I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation
She's about to get murdered,
and
ain't
put
she?
all
And then
my
she's like,
effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come. Surely you...
Yep. Mystery Saja just killed you, man. His neutral special is a gun. He's pulling his Glock out.
You understand?
Oh.
There can be no exceptions.
Wait, how do you guys know about the protocol? Huh. And that's why they deleted it. Knowing you can restore the data, though, that's kind of goofy. So any dissenters were murdered. Which is a little suspicious if all you're trying to do is prevent death. She only wanted to leave and he executed her. I checked the images against the personnel data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calyx. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. What you looking for, darling? Smash. I love Smash. I'm not surprised, given how my parents described the defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal, even as Preservation's agents closed in on them. I dared not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out they were captured by their pursuers, bang bang. They're in the endless. They have to have died somehow, right? I hate your hairstyle, lady. They did not regret their actions. Oh, that's a little spooky. What's going on here? My microphone is... Okay, that does sound right. Okay. Right, the echo. Knowing you saw them as they were, your words gave me great comfort. Oh, Kryle. Worry not, Fiend. Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It's enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and Preservation, but what we do know is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? The tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. To the Director's office! I wonder if Kryle has, like, the same Final Fantasy V, like, parents, because Galuf was her granddad in 5, and he was a king, which would make her a princess, but I don't think that's the case if she's a Final Fantasy IX character. Or if they pulled her, like, the world that they're from Final Fantasy IX. There we go, let's head inside. Now to find that data relay. Don't be shy, everyone. Speak up if anything odd catches your eye. Selena, come with me. I might have need of the security card. Well, no, I was just gonna sit out here. You know, it's the only person who knows how to fight everything. Just... Hello, Chalet? This terminal isn't connected to any outside network, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. Office is also smaller than the map suggested. It's possibly in the right room. What am I missing? Sorry, Selena, could I ask you in the other search office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle? Yeah, there's a secret section. That's pretty simple. Beverage. Yum. Having lain dormant for years, the now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. It appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee, though. It remains to be seen what it will be able to do more. Oh, dude. Coffee? Amongst other personal effects, you find what is presumably the director's data tablet. Close locker stand. God, I can't read it. Oh, what's the locker? Oh, that's not... Yeah. Nothing of note? Well, I mean... I don't know about that one. You pick up the data tablet and begin skimming through the contents. Let's see the daily reports. Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Continued attempts to stabilize the core's energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for ether reclamation processing. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Oh, okay. Major incident. Details in full report. These 2 inept Malala broke with Preservation absconded with a key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the relic. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of the object of our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calyx's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of return. Oh, what the hell? So they failed and he just killed everybody in here? All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I will proceed with my own corporeal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calyx requires. Excuse me. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Hey, I'm unauthorized entry, that's me. They mentioned me in the documents. Hey, Kryle. Something strange about this wall. Could have sworn it flickered for a moment there. Oh. Okay. Soul cells. A collection of soul cells may have once belonged to the director. They appear to be empty. Find a crumpled note wedged between the file binders. Secure room lift access. Requires passwords to be input simultaneously at terminals in the Proto Lab, Doodle Lab, and Director's office. Hey Shale, I got some weird password shenaniganery. You found something. Thank you. Misplaced note, was it? With instructions for accessing a secure room, no less. Seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There was no such room marked on the map, was there? No, a precautionary measure, no doubt, and if passwords are involved, I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. Concealed? By electrope, you mean? Ah, could it be that wall? I thought it seemed odd when I walked past. Remember what Kahyukwa used to say, Shell? Never trust an electrope surface. What? That doesn't sound like an expression I'd use. You could pass right through electrope. I don't think you can. Truly, I'd never had that property in my time. Selena's having a little fun, I think. What we mean is electrope can protect a false appearance. Selena's like... In which case, it shouldn't be too hard to disable. Another door! We've managed to deactivate the projection, but the lock is another story. Didn't that note lay out the password protocol? I say we go ahead and try it. I agree. 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input while the rest of us look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the proto lab. Then I'll take the tutorial lab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, Sven. Your knowledge of Alexandria and its people could be needed here. Yes, you're right. If the passwords are hiding behind clues, that may be something I can help with. I can help too. I've lived my whole life in Alexandria, after all. I will take the tutorial lab duty then. If we can keep in touch via communicator to match our timing. Selena, you shall have the honor of entering the office password. Once we've determined what we need to input, take your place at this terminal. I'll stand by to guide Wuklamot and Kral through the process. I get to punch the numbers in. You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. I thought since it was made of electrope, it might have some other purpose, but I couldn't find any switches or buttons to make it do anything. Maybe you can figure it out. Display case? Have you tried using the Tear of God? No. Oh, actually, I might look into the locker. Why are you simping for this guy, man? We are missing a yellow sapphire and a garnet. We are missing another gem. I should take a close look at these reports. One of them might have hints of the password. Right, so you don't want to tell me about it. It's fine too.
Bro, voice chat?
Yo, what's up, homie? Yeah, I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, and usually when I stream it, I'm in voice chat.
The critically acclaimed MMORPG?
That's the one. Just heads up, you're on stream.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say hi. I got an exam later,
Yo,
so peace.
Alright, good luck.
Thanks.
Cube puzzle made of electro. No, give me the puzzle! This is my good friend Max. If I move this bit, connect to circuit. He just did it, but without me? Wow. It's an Alexandrite. They say these gems were so treasured in the past that they named the kingdom after them. Here, you should hold on to this one just in case. Oh. Alright, so we put that here. He just beat the Rubik's Cube, I bet. Blop. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Gemstone fits snugly into place. Almost immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on the display, accompanied by a short phrase. This is a floor plan of the complex. As you continue studying the display, you realize these shapes correspond to the rooms in the complex in which you now stand. This may be related to the passwords you're looking for. Right, so... director's office, yeah. Sapphire... Oh, makes sense, yeah. Garnet, so this will probably be the passwords, right? Okay. Yes, I knew that jewel would come in handy. Let me see. Sure thing, Guluja. Heed the stones. This must be about the special meanings Alexandrians had for gems. It's an old belief, I think, where each type of gem means something different. I bet if you ask Fiend, she could tell you more about it. After all, even her name comes from a gemstone. Right, okay, so if I tell her, she'll tell me the meaning of these bad boys.